The Baltimore Orioles, they win on Baltimore Opening Day. And we got a big episode coming your way tonight. 8-5 the final score over the Boston Red Sox. I am Kevin Oestreicher. This is Kevin and Zach Reacts. It's a little bit of a later start, I guess, compared to what we usually do here on the show. Obviously, Zach and I were both at the game. If you didn't see our short recapping the game from Camden Yards, you can go watch that, where you can also, if you just want to get in on the fun, you can see just how much of a height difference that Zach and I have, and everybody in the comments is absolutely frying me for it. But, it was a fun game. It was a fun atmosphere. It's obviously, at least where I am, it's very bad weather, but the weather held out for the game. The Orioles moved it up 30 minutes, and I know a lot of people were saying, 30 minutes, but it actually kind of did make a difference. So it was an awesome game. Obviously, got a little dicey towards the end, but you know what? A win is a win is a win is a win is a win. And you know what? The Orioles opening game of the season in Toronto, they were so back. And then it was so over. And then they were so back. And then it was so over again. And now the Orioles, they're so back. They're so back. We're going to talk about it. No home runs in this game for either team. The Orioles manufacturing runs. And, Alex Bregman certainly had a hand in getting the Orioles some runs, or had a nose, for getting the Orioles some runs. That I saw it live, obviously, at the game, watching the replay of it, driving back, which, by the way, was a nightmare to drive back. Watching the replay driving back was, oh, man. And you know what, Pigtown? Yeah, bad day for the ump, first of all. And on top of it, the way that the theatrics happened on that double play, where obviously you had a safe guy at first base for the Orioles, and he's like, oh, well, the runner at second is out. I don't know why we had to announce the runner at second was out. We knew the runner at second was out. Obviously got a huge negative reaction from the Orioles fan base, but then he's like, oh, and then the runner at first was safe. And I was like, why couldn't you? Zach, long story short, Zach and I ended up, Zach's usually Bali on the streets. I ended up going with Zach to celebrate the win. So I was out with him for a little bit. And, it was a fun time. I didn't stay out for too long because obviously one of us had to get back. And, we wanted to do it when we were out, but we didn't realize that fully you just cannot set up stuff from your phone. So if I had known that, I would have set it up beforehand. But you know what? Learning experiences for next time. All right, we're going to figure that out next time. So Zach will be Bobby on the streets, although, downtown is pretty bad weather. I don't know if he's going to be in the rain or in a bar or wherever. But I'll tell you, this is a big win for the Orioles. Obviously, it moves Boston to 1-4. Tough start to the year for Boston. Tough start to the year for Rafael Devers, too, man. He walked twice, but, he's still hitless on the season. He struck out a couple more times. But where do we want to start? And by the way, before we get into it, first of all, Samuel, appreciate you becoming a member. For those that don't know, members, we have those live now. You can call in after the games. We will have call-ins coming up probably in about 25-30 minutes or so. And then you also will get a post-game short from one of Zachariah. Zach was supposed to put it as members only. He ended up putting it as public, which isn't that big of a deal. But I have been subject to some very some very big roasts on my height. And then secondly, C Money, tell Zach to play the damn song. Appreciate you, C Money. We have to see if he can get it on his phone. He'll probably be on his phone, but hopefully he'll be able to play the song and be live with us here. So I don't know where Zach is. He said he's hopping on, but for now, I will be taking you through the conversation. Yeah, Pickles, actually, I got down to the stadium late. I couldn't even get into Pickles. I wanted to go say what's up. Obviously, Ryan was doing his thing over at 105.7 there. Zach was handing out T-shirts. I couldn't get in. The line was like an hour long, and by the time that I couldn't even figure out where the line started. I went, tried to see where the line started. It was super crazy. I just said, you know what? I'm going to see everybody at the stadium. So we just went into the stadium, and that was that. And yeah, you know what? You got a little Gary Williams Stole My Lawn Furniture action. If you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button over there. Zach might be a little intoxicated, right? Might be a little intoxicated. But let's start off diving into the game, I don't know where else to start, if I'm being honest. I want to start. The offense obviously was absolutely humming. 15 hits for the Orioles in this game. I mean, you can't say anything else about this offense. But you know who else? Or I guess not who else, but you know who we're going to talk about first, because I think we have to. There is no other player that we can talk about right now but Tyler O'Neill. Tyler O'Neill, I don't know if this is the second coming of Babe Ruth. I don't know what we're seeing here. But Tyler O'Neill has been absolutely unreal for this Orioles ball club. Absolutely unreal. 4 games for the Orioles. He's hitting .571. Another second in 4 games. Another perfect game for Tyler O'Neill. 4 for 4 on the day. He's seeing the ball. He's mashing the ball. If this man can stay healthy, I'll tell you what. We talk about X factors all the way across the board. We've talked about Seti, who was awesome, and I see it in the chat. We'll talk about him as well. You know, we're going to get into a couple of other guys as well. Tyler O'Neill, if he can stay healthy, I think is the biggest X factor for this Orioles team. I mean, he's unreal. He's unreal. Now, is he going to keep up a .571 average for the season? I mean, I hope so. I hope so. But even if he doesn't, which again, is probably going to come down from that, you have to love what he brings to the table so far. And you know what the best part of it is? Only 1 homer, right? He is getting on base. He is manufacturing hits. Obviously, the big homer on the opening game in Toronto. But I love the way that he's seeing the ball. I love the way he's hitting it. And this is a great point here. 31 homers in 113 games last year. We know the thing with Tyler O'Neill. When he can stay healthy, he can put up all-star-like numbers. And even when he's not, the production, like over a full 162, it's unreal. The production is unreal. But exactly, he just needs to stay healthy. And Alex Baltimore makes a great point here as well. He is spraying the field, so that's a big conversation as well. But we do have Zach Ballinger in the back. I don't know where he is. It looks like he's in a bar somewhere. He might just be at the same bar we're at. I'm not sure. We're going to bring him on. We're going to figure out what his situation is.
Kevin, I've yet to clean my glasses off. 1 second, but nod your head if you can hear me.
Can you hear? Can you hear me?
I'm glad you can hear me.
Okay.
What an opening day! I'm sorry I can't really hear you. I'm still at the bar. Same bar you left. I'm at the bar with Orioles fans. What a time to be alive for an Orioles fan, because I'm sure you've said it. This is the moment we've been waiting months for. We have...
Oh, what's up? Hi, Molly.
I've been waiting for you.
We're here. You know, it took a while to get back, but we finally made it. It's pouring outside.
Yeah, so, Kevin, it is pouring outside, hence why.
You all are welcome for the win.
Yeah.
Molly wants to say everyone's welcome for the win. She traveled in from Ohio for the win, but Kevin, this game wasn't about who scored first. You know.
Hi, Laura. I haven't met you in real life. Hi.
Molly also said
shout out Laura. Shout out to Laura.
This game wasn't earned in the first inning, Kevin. And can you give a thumbs up that you can still hear me? Awesome. This game wasn't won in the first inning. They put up 4 runs, but that wasn't enough. They fought back in the 8th inning. They put up the amount of runs they needed. But all around, it felt like a team that, thank goodness, Kevin, did not give up in the first inning.
Hi, Joe. I'm Kevin's #1 fan. Yeah, I have proof now.
Yeah, it's Joe. I'm sorry, but Molly does have proof she's Kevin's #1 fan. Kevin, we have to put you to my ear. So if you see the ceiling, I'm so sorry to everyone viewing at home. I'm listening to Kevin.
Yeah, well, Molly does have the. She's met me once. Joe has met me no times in person, so she has that over Joe.
Kevin, that's what she's saying. She said she had the meeting in person.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That for not showing my face, Kevin. It's kind of a little hostile over here. I'm not gonna lie. Like the post production is getting to me a little bit.
Well, that's all right. Cheer. I don't have any. There we go. Yeah. And by the way, we'll talk about Cole. I was just having a conversation, Zach, about Tyler O'Neill again because he's unreal.
Kevin,
So,
he's not. Oh,
oh, oh,
Kevin, Tyler O'Neill is smashing the cover off the ball, and Orioles fans, me included, have not given him the proper respect he deserves because he is just mashing the baseball. There are no analytics, Kevin. Tyler O'Neill, when he steps up to the plate, yes, he struck out a few times, but when he puts bat on ball, he is mashing the baseball.
yeah, he's great. And I think that, again, I talked about him as the Orioles X factor. If he can stay healthy, I mean, he's not going to hit 571, but
It'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool, but the Orioles 15. I didn't realize it was so many. 15 hits in the game. I mean, they were seeing the ball, they were spraying the ball around. And my favorite part, I said it earlier, no home runs for either team. Manufacturing runs. That's how you do it.
And you talk about home runs for the Orioles. Kevin, did it not feel like the past 3-4 games? I'll even go the full series in Toronto. Did it not feel like the Orioles were either hitting a home run or it was bust? Like it felt like if the Orioles were not going long with their at-bats, simply put, the Orioles weren't scoring runs. We saw yesterday Ryan O'Hearn scores on a wild pitch. Will the Orioles score more in the next 8 innings? They don't. It's one of those things where, yes, it is so great to score multiple runs in multiple innings, but the Orioles, if they're going to make it count, score in the first, score in the 8th, and put some pressure on the Red Sox.
Yep. And you know what? I'm glad that they did what they did there because I know Felix looked a little shaky, right? He was amped up. First game back in Baltimore.
Felix was a little too amped up, but like you said, it's his first time back in Camden Yards. You can hear me, correct? All right. I don't know when my gets overtaken by others yelling, so I want to make sure. I would totally be doing this outside. As I set up outside, it started pouring down the rain. So,
yeah.
For the moment, I'm doing it in the back corner, but we're gonna do it as the back corner. I wish I could be outside to hear people more, but we're still doing this at least.
Yeah, no, it's fun. People say they're loving the dynamic, so it's okay. We can talk about it like this. But
okay, Kevin, I'm told Molly has something to say. So
Laura, I had to say hi to you specifically because I just commented, but I had to say hi to Laura specifically because she's my favorite.
Here.
Laura is her favorite. She is saying that to her specifically. Laura is her favorite. So
shout out to Laura.
Your question to my girlfriend is whose favorite it is. It is Laura.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Laura. She has her Rose Refined shirt. Zach and Molly passed out shirts at Pickles today.
Way too many shirts. I will say, yeah, give me something else. I'm just gonna say it on anything you guys get, just get me one. Sorry, I had to do a quick beer.
That is such a Zach mood.
Oh, that's such a Zach thing. Maybe I'm asking for water, Kevin. Who knows?
I know where the water is. You could get up and get it yourself.
Oh, Kevin, I'm sorry you've been here. Okay, yeah. Everyone in the chat, Kevin coming to the bar that I've been at is the worst thing ever because he understands where the plugs are and where the water is, and he knows that I don't need them during the chat.
Yeah, Zach exposed himself.
It's the worst thing ever. Kevin, you coming to Don't Know Tavern was the worst thing ever. Actually, it raining was the worst thing ever, but still.
Yeah. Now, you know what? It's all right. But getting back into the game, a lot of people are talking about SETI, Zach. A lot of people are talking about SETI. And I know Ryan is sniffing a lot of socks with SETI, but how are you feeling about Mr. Cedric Mullins, who again goes 2 for 4 on the day?
Listen, Kevin.
No Oriole had more than one RBI
I mean
except for SETI.
I genuinely do mean this. Has Cedric Mullins come up in a big at bat this year and not delivered? Like I'm not trying to be facetious. I'm not trying to be that homer right now. Every time Cedric Mullins comes up in a massive situation, he gets the job done. It doesn't matter if you need a single, you need a double. Cedric Mullins has got the job done. We've talked about it on the show for months. There are baseball players and there are grinders. Cedric Mullins is a grinder. It does not matter what the count is. It does not matter what the media wants him to be in. Cedric Mullins is going to take the account he's in, and he's going to grind with it. And that's what makes him so good at the game of baseball, is it doesn't matter if it's 0-2 or 2-0, he's going up with the same exact mindset, and he's getting the job done.
We talked about this with Adley, obviously, with his slump in the second half of last season, but obviously Seti last year was going through it in the first part of the season, and you just kind of can get down on yourself. You know, you have to stay positive, but it can be hard at times to do that. But this year, it just feels like Cedric is so much more confident, at least early on. It's not that Cedric isn't confident in his abilities. It's just like, you know, when people have it going, they have it going, and then when all of a sudden you enter this slump, it can be hard for guys to get out of it. So I think that it's really good to see, and they need him this season too. He's another X factor to me of like, if he can stay in this form, or even, you know, obviously it's early in the year. So if he just even just tones it down a little bit, I still think that him and O'Neal producing the way they're producing is going to be huge.
Kevin, by any chance, are you telling me the game of baseball is hard? Are you telling me people don't bat 1,000 in the game of baseball? Are you telling me that people in the game of baseball don't bat 1,000, that people get out? Because, Kevin, if I saw the way that people react to these things, I would think that if you got out, it was a horrible thing. Cedric Mullins is exactly what this team needs. He's a grinder. It doesn't matter if he's 10 for his last 10 or 0 for his last 10. He's going up with a mindset that he's going to get on base no matter what it takes. Kevin, he's exactly what ball players and managers want on their team. It doesn't matter what the other 9 at-bats around him have done. He's going to do what best helps the team, and that's what he's done this whole season so far.
You know, I love the conversations that we have, and especially early on this year, because they're all coming back and they all support each other. What was the conversation we had just a couple days ago? And, you know, we've even done it on the call-ins. The bottom of this lineup, 7, 8, 9, 6 for 12. 6 for 12. It's just baseball after you get past
trade
the
them all. Why have we not traded everyone 6 or 9? If you don't bat 1,000, trade them. Is that not the thing? Wait, Kevin, is that not baseball? Is that not how baseball works? I was going on Twitter. If you're not 12 for 12, you're tradable. Is that not the thing?
Well, I guess they have to trade Tyler O'Neal then. I mean, he's only hitting 571.
And to think all he's done for the team, it's unfortunate we have to trade him. But Kevin, like you said, it's early in the season. We praise guys who have done well. We give our takes on guys who haven't. We're 4 games into the season. There is so much to prove. There's so much to be done. This season is about consistency, Kevin. It's about consistency. We've seen with Cowser, he's out. Hell, Cowser's out 6 to 8 weeks. Good. I'm going to say that. Have you seen that? You know the John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh speech. Good. Who's going to step up? Who's going to be that next guy? Is it Kerstead? Is it Liriano? It's one of those things where you have to have the mentality of a Ravens good to be like, oh, Kerstead's out 6 to 8 weeks. Let's be real, Kevin. That's a devastating injury. Most teams can't recover from this. The Baltimore Orioles, they have guys like Kerstead. Go prove us why we spent a 2nd overall pick on you. Yeah. Good.
I know you said
wait, Kevin. I am not saying good to Cowser's injury. Just want to put that out there. I'm not saying actually good to that injury. it's more of a phrase, but to the whole situation, it's like, Harbaugh good. Something shitty happens, good. I'm not saying good to actually he's enjoying.
Yeah, I know you said Kerstad's out. I know you meant Kauser, but it's lost in the shuffle.
Kevin, I'm a little intoxicated.
Are you? I couldn't tell.
I'm trying my hardest, Kevin. Can you not
I couldn't tell. You're doing it. You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job.
I'm proud of you, Kevin. Okay.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's showing me the live feed, and I'm feeling less confident about how I look.
Well, she's calling you out. She said you haven't showed off your chain yet.
Okay, Kevin, I have. I'm trying. Like, Kevin, she bought me the home run chain. We didn't hit any home runs today. It's hard to show off the home run chain without any home runs,
Man, it's okay though. It's okay. And
my mom, Kevin, my mom's gonna get mad at me for showing up to this intoxicated.
Well,
like that's what's unfortunate. It's like everyone enjoys me showing up slightly intoxicated. Like, yeah, someone said wife. She's telling me someone said wife up immediately. I'm trying, people. I'm trying.
You know what?
You guys buy a ring. I mean, like, Jesus, they're not that cheap these days, Kevin. Jesus, they're not that cheap. To my mother, who I'm sure is watching, I'm trying to be sober, okay? I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm getting made fun of now for trying to be sober. It's a tough task, people. It's a tough task.
The Orioles win on opening day. Zach's allowed to celebrate, all right? Zach,
thank you, Kevin. The Orioles win. I got a home run chain, and people are upset at me.
Yeah. Although,
everyone's like,
I think that a lot of the conversations about Kauser, I guess, now we can talk about that. I mean, we can just dive right into Kauser right now, because I think if this was any other game, we would have been live reacting to it, you and I. Kauser's going to miss 6 to 8 weeks at least. It's in that time frame. It's a tough blow. Obviously, we talked about it on yesterday's show, sliding into first base. It's a tough scene for everybody, and it's a big blow to Baltimore, as Zach said, and I don't know where he went, but hopefully he comes back soon. At the end of the day, the Orioles are going to miss Colton Kauser, but you do have other guys that can step up, come in, and hopefully make an impact. Where, yeah, it's going to be tough for Kauser to, the Orioles don't have another necessarily Colton Kauser on their roster. And now you're going to have to look at guys like Laureano and Carlson, and Heston's going to play a bigger role, right? You have a lot of other opportunities now if you're these guys to be able to step up and show that, yes, there is depth. There is depth. So, all right, I think you're back, Zach. Hello.
Kevin, I'm not going. Okay, well, here's Molly. I was told that she was asked for in the chat. Here is my lovely girlfriend, Molly.
Please forgive me. I'm wearing a Cincinnati Reds jersey, but I still showed up, and I don't know anything about baseball, but I watched, and I lost all my bets.
It's a tough scene.
I am sorry for bringing a Cincinnati Reds fan to opening day, but she rooted as hard as she could.
He knew it coming into it. He knew it coming into it that I was a Reds fan.
Oh, you know what? Austin Hayes, truth or stand up,
Yeah, Austin Hayes went from the Orioles to the Reds. I was going to say to the Ravens.
Yeah, see, as long as you're cheering for Austin Hayes, there you go. Right there.
Hey, Molly, people are excited that you're cheering for Austin Hayes. I'm going to pretend you didn't just say who's bad.
You can answer this one, Zach. Yeah.
Samuel, I have unfortunate news to break to you. She may be a Bengals fan. It is it's tough during football season in this Molly, you have anything to say about the Bengals?
No, wait.
She is going on a rant right now.
Laura said I still love you.
What is going on? What is this show?
And I have never loved you more.
She said some things about the Ravens or the Bengals.
Yeah. All right, how'd you feel about Cade Povich today, Zach? How you feel like you did? 4 1/3 for Cade.
So
5 hits,
if
3
you go
runs.
through 3 innings, 70+ pitches, it's not the greatest if you're looking at pitches state, but Cade Povich did exactly what we wanted him to do. He battled through. He did exactly what you want a young pitcher to do. Through 70 pitches, you got 5 strikeouts. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. I'm as confident as Cade Povich as I've ever been.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to need him. Obviously, he was able to settle down after the third. I just feel like the 8 strikeouts are something you like. Obviously, 2 walks is not horrendous by any stretch of the imagination.
No, and I want me to make this clear. Cade Povich is a guy that's going to struggle with his curveball. Cade Povich is a guy that the pitches are not always going to be there that you want to be there. He's a guy that the curveball is so vital to his game. You need him to land the curveball. You want him to be confident in the curveball when he's throwing. If the curveball's not there, he's not the greatest. It's as simple as that. If the curveball is not there, he gives up walks. He gives up the tough 3-2 count. But overall, for how much he pitched, I'm glad Cade Povich got there as much as he did.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Oh, no, he can't hear me. Yeah, I mean, I think that for Cade Povich, the whole situation with him is once Grayson comes back, it's going to be where's Cade Povich going to factor in? With Grayson, Tomo, Dean, obviously Eflin, and then Charlie Morton, do they go 6? What happens? Having Cade as insurance is someone that can step up. Again, he threw a lot of pitches. Didn't go super late into the game. But it's not like he gave up a ton of hits relative. It's not like he gave up a ton of runs, The strikeout number was good. The walks weren't terrible. I think it was an okay day for Cade Povich. So I don't know what I'm looking at right now.
That's what it was. It was an okay game for Cade Povich. Do I think he could have done better? Do I think he could have done worse? Yeah. But overall, pitch count taken into effect, it was an okay game for him.
Yeah. Look at what I just sent you. I texted you something. Look what I just sent you.
What was that?
Look what I just sent you. I texted you something. You have to look at it. Okay. Yeah. I just think that, having him as an option in your rotation is like a super sub guy, like a sixth starter that you can rely on. That's a really, really good thing. Again, he's not going to be your ace. He's still going to work things out throughout the season. But I think it was a good start for Cade Povich. That, to me, is what I think is the most important part here. Where if you do have to deal with pitcher injuries, and look, the way that things are going, like, the Orioles are probably going to have to deal with pitching injuries. Like, I don't know how many, knock on wood, it is not many at all. But to have Cade there, I just thinking, the points being made, multiple people here, lots of foul balls, right? Lots of foul balls. So he threw a lot of pitches, but he got the job done, and that's really important. Plus, Dilly, appreciate
that
you
is the most
becoming a
important
member
part
quickly.
Especially after we've seen Morton, we've seen guys who aren't able to get into that 5th inning, into that 4th inning. The important part about this season is to get deep in the game. So I'm sorry I'm at the back of this bar. I'm trying my hardest to try to keep sound out as much as I can. But
what is that on the wall?
It's an exit sign, Kevin.
No. There's a face on the wall.
Yeah, it's the most interesting man in the world.
No. Other wall. No. This way. No. That's not the guy.
Kevin, I can't hear you.
The other wall. There's a guy on the other wall. It's a face on the other wall.
Don't fuck this up.
Yes, Zach. Listen.
Like, what do you want?
Above the door.
Yes, it's the most interesting.
No,
game
not
in the
that
world.
wall. Not that wall. No, keep going. There, it's above the door. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
fuck!
Oh my. Was that so hard?
I wish I could give a better version of him, but it's very much.
That was absolutely painful. Thank you for going to the right wall.
Kevin, I wish I could see the comments because I'm trying to show.
You
I have to get the.
you can see the comments. You can see the comments if you're on your phone. Just click comments.
All right, I can see the comments now through my girlfriend's phone.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to give you guys.
You're giving good content. You're giving good content. You're giving good content.
I appreciate it, Kevin. I got about 5 more minutes before we have to.
Your phone.
Home, but
all right. You're gonna bail before the call-in start? I was gonna put the link in a minute.
Yeah, I can call in the Uber, but I do have to find an Uber in a few minutes because it's getting late. I'm done with Baltimore City. Overall, it was a fun time, but it's time to go home, Kevin.
Okay. Well, I'll hold it down. If you want to come back in the Uber, you can come back in the Uber. If you don't, I'll just do call-ins and we'll vibe out without Bali in the streets or in the bar. Bali in the bar.
Yeah, Kevin, I'm gonna find a way home. I'll join call-ins in the Uber, but
okay. Well, be safe. Something. Find a way to get home, and hop on if you can. All right.
All right. About that? I'll let you know when I get back.
All right. Sounds good. Goodbye. Okay. Well, that was. I don't know what word I want to use. I don't know what word I want to use. But, we got a celebrity appearance from Molly, which was fun. Zach is clearly sober, so that's also fun. And now what we're going to do is we're going to open up call-ins. So if you want to call in, how it works is you have to be a member for it, first of all. I'm going to put the link to the members. Well, actually, let me quickly put how you can become a member in the chat, and then I will put the call-in link in the community posts tab. And we have an update. Bali, sorry guys, the Orange Crush has got me. Thank you, Zach and Molly, for keeping us updated on Zach's. And no, Connor, I did not, because I knew that one of us had to come home and make this stream and do this stream. And I figured that, Zach was having his fun. It was going to be me. So it's okay. Zach and I will do some other content where, maybe we get a little crazy like that. And Joe saying, Kevin, your GF so she's in the chat. She commented when during the whole, she's here. She commented, Kermit, when Zach was doing that whole thing. But yes, we'll do more content with everybody, and it'll be a fun time. So here is the link to join the memberships. If you want, you'll be able to call into the show. We'll have a short after every single game. That is just a quick 30-second recap before we go live. And obviously, this is Kevin and Zach React, where we are your daily post-game Orioles destination. So after every Orioles game, we're doing all 162 plus this season. Hopefully, a lot of plus games in there in the postseason. But we're here for you Orioles post-game coverage. We're here during the great wins like today or the terrible bad losses. And we want to give you a space to be able to share your Orioles emotions. And we are continuing to strive to make this incredible community even more incredible. So that's how you can join the memberships. It's right there. Now let me get the call-in link in here for everybody quickly. Here we go. See, one-man shows are different. I enjoy the one-man shows. I enjoy when Zach is here. It's not Kevin and Zach React without Zach, truly. So, it's different because, for a full 162, it's not super realistic that both Zach and I will be available every single after game, but we'll hop on, right? Zach might be at a bar, which, is more often than not. I might be doing something else, but we hold it down, and this doesn't happen without the incredible community that we have. And that's why I wanted to open up call-ins too, to give everybody a chance who watches us to be able to come on here, chop it up, Orioles, other stuff. It gives us, because, we are fans too. We love this team as well. And, we love all the great wins. We get upset at the bad losses. And I think it's really fun for us, at least, to be able to, go through all of that with everybody. So, all right, enough of me talking. Let me get the Game 5 call-in link, Game 5 call-ins. And yeah, I know that Zach is not so, because he was supposed to make that short members only, because that's what we do. But you know what? For the one that we're in person with, people can go make fun of the height difference. Obviously, it was very funny to me when I opened up the thumbnail. It was just me looking like I'm 10 feet shorter than Zach. So that was funny. Okay. Game 5 call-in link is live, members only. So if you would like to join, and Joan, thank you for being a member. Thank you for joining. The call-ins have been great so far, by the way. Zach and I have had a lot of fun with them. This will actually be the first solo call-in that either of us have done, so that'll be fun. And again, we'll talk Orioles, we'll talk anything else, whatever you have on your mind. So if you want to hop in, the link is in the posts tab. Post tab in the on the page, on the Kevin Zach React page. So who knows? Maybe we'll get 10, maybe we'll get none, maybe we'll get in the middle, maybe we'll get more. I don't know, but it's going to be really exciting. Did it say? Oh yeah, Joe and Zach's not in top form right now. It's a tough scene for Zach, but you know what? He gave it his all, and I applaud him for trying his best. And honestly, that's the content you love. Like it's the fun content like that. Zach will look back on this tomorrow and maybe remember half of it, maybe remember a quarter. I don't know how much he's gonna remember, but we'll have to rib him when he's able to comprehend what he did tonight. Let's get to the call-ins. First one, we got Steve. We're gonna bring on Steve. Steve, what's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm happy the O's won, but I'm mad because I was at work during the game.
Were you caught none of it? None at all?
None.
Oh.
I was able to catch up through social media, however.
Yeah.
And I will say, 8 runs scored, no long balls. Love to see it. Manufacturing runs doesn't just have to be the long ball.
Steve, it's music to my ears too. It's something we've talked about for so long. Of like, we know this is a power team. Like that's going to be what they do. It's not a secret to anybody. But solo homers aren't going to cut it most days. You have to find ways to manufacture, get guys on base. 15 hits, no homers. This is my favorite game. It might be my favorite game of the past handful of months of Orioles baseball, considering what they were able
absolutely.
to do.
And seeing O'Neill go 4 for 4 again. But I just have one question.
Yeah.
Will the real Slim Katie stand up? 8 Ks in 4 1/3 today?
I'm telling, dude, I love it. And I know the thing with Katis is walks. 2 is not bad. I mean, It's not bad.
But I just got to ask Kevin. I said this in the chat when you guys started. How fun was it to hear that whistle in Camden Yards again?
Being there, everybody knew it was coming. You could see him warming up in the bullpen. And I mean, honestly, if I'm being honest, Steve, I didn't hear the whistle because it was so loud. I mean, people were just out of their seats, screaming, yelling. And I mean, you could tell, it means a lot for Felix to be back out there. I think it's awesome to see, he missed baseball. He missed being out there, being a part of the team. And he knows that, the fan base has his back. And yes, he struggled. He was amped up. He was really amped up. It's, that was obvious.
Can you blame him?
I can't. No, I'm not blaming him. So it's just him getting back in a groove, right? It's like a guy who hasn't pitched in so long in a setting like that. I mean, this is Felix's bullpen. Felix is the heartbeat of that bullpen, and he's gonna get it together. It's just the first couple of games. I'm not overly worried because again, it's game 5. I'm not overreacting either which way. Again, is Tyler No going to hit 571 for the rest of the season?
Hell no.
Probably not, right? But like you got to take it both ways. I'm like, I'm not overreacting to the good, not overreacting to the bad. So that's kind of where I am.
Sucks to hear Cowser's out.
Yep.
That dude is a lightning rod at top of the lineup. There's no doubt. And from what I saw, Dominguez shoved today.
Yeah. It's good, and it's good to see that because considering the spring he had and the start that he had, again, spring can be very. I don't even know the word I'd use. I guess it can be a fluke, right?
Yeah,
it can be a fluke where it's just a different setting, but and then to see him kind of struggle a little bit, you're like, oh, what's going on here? But the track record speaks for itself. He'll give up homers. We know he's going to give up homers.
Yeah,
but I think that Dominguez is a really big part. I mean, Felix, Cano, Dominguez, and Soto. Like those are the four guys that if they can be lights out or close to it for the Orioles, and you also have other guys like Aiken, and I know Bowman will probably be on the taxi squad for most of the season. What is Suarez's role going to look like? You have other options too.
What about Brian Baker too?
You know what? New look Brian Baker. New look Brian Baker. I'll tell you, man. And the cool thing actually being at the game, we were sitting like right above the splash zone. So seeing Derek Queen and all the Maryland men's, women's college basketball people being a part of it, Derek Queen being a Baltimore dude. I love that too. That was sick for me.
Yeah. I will say before I get out of here and go to bed, I feel bad for Rafi Devers. That is a slump you do not want to begin the season.
No. Look, I mean, from an Orioles perspective, I'll take it, but like, he was put in a tough spot, and Bregman did no favors to Boston today. By the way,
that is true.
He helped the Orioles out more than I think Devers did with his. I said it on the show. I don't know if you caught it or not before he got in here, but I didn't like. I saw him hit his face live, but then watching the replay, it was so much worse than I thought it was. Like he just face planted in there, man. So, crazy. You got anything else for me, Steve, before you head out of here?
All I'm going to say is the O's are fine.
Oh, there it is.
I want that shirt. I want that shirt.
Dude, Zach, Molly, Ryan. I mean, it wasn't those shirts, but they were handing out Deep Eddie shirts. We have those shirts too. We're going to get a whole merch shop going. We're going to make more of them and more shirts in general. We gotta get you one of those for sure. So,
oh yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, appreciate you checking in as always, man. And I'll talk to you soon. All right.
Yes, sir.
Cool, man. All right, Steve. Appreciate you. Boom. Yeah, man. And for the O's are fine shirts, by the way. I didn't think, and I'm not saying this because like, I'm a part of the Reiner Media Empire. Like they are legitimately extremely comfortable. I did not expect them to be as comfortable as they were, but like, I don't even know what material it is. Whatever it is, though, I need more of it, and I need more shirts like it. So be on the lookout for the merch store. But let's get to our next call in. We're going to Australia. We're bringing on AJ. AJ, I want to apologize to you because I know you're just waking up because Zach and I were getting a little crazy.
Yeah,
some crazier than others.
I'm jealous that y'all are in Baltimore. Oh my God.
It was electric, man. I'll tell you.
I was listening to the Omar's whistle for the first time in a long time.
Oh my! I mean, I told Steve I couldn't hear it because it was so loud.
Even on TV, it was insane. Like,
and I think you know what? It couldn't have been more fitting for like Felix and everything he's been through to get back to where he is now. And again, it wasn't a pretty outing.
No,
it got a little dicey.
Look, I hate calling ball, but that umpire absolutely robbed him of that strikeout. I was so, especially since he'd been calling that low strike all game. Oh, that made me mad. And originally I was honestly, like, I know they wanted the home crowd and everyone to see him. Originally I was kind of against seeing Felix with such a lead just because 4 runs, I kind of felt like that's a good padding while still keeping save level pressure. But then I realized we have the off day tomorrow. I didn't realize that there was an off day at first. Yeah. But Zach has inspired me. It is only 11:30, but I have a prop. We got the Great Northern. So
let's go. Doing it for Zach, man.
Cold down in Australia.
Oh, I love it.
Man, great game. I will say I nearly put a hole through my TV when we grounded into our third double play in 3 innings.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness. I will say, with the whole double play thing, and especially since they talked about last year, we grounded into the fewest double plays in MLB history. Part of that was because every time we had runners on, we'd strike out. Can't hit into double plays when you strike out. So I will take a few more hits with runners in scoring position if it means the occasional, you're going to bounce into a double play here.
Yeah, and I think it's a fine trade-off. I mean, I was getting a little nervous as the game went on because, again, it didn't you get 4 runs in the first, like, okay, this is awesome. And then you go dry for a while and you're like, okay, like this Red Sox offense, you do have guys that can punish you here. They get it to 4-3 and you're like, is this going to be another one of those games where they just don't score after the first inning? And then the Red Sox have some crazy, and they needed all the insurance runs they got. I mean, if Felix and high run comes to the plate and you're thinking, oh man, here we go again. But I'm glad it didn't follow that script. And I'm glad that, again, we're not just talking about, okay, they scored 8 runs and there were 4 solo homers and you manufactured runs. And I thought that was a really positive step. And especially for a guy like Tyler O'Neill, who, again, is a power guy, but I mean, he's getting on base.
He's clearly going to hit 600 the rest of the season. I don't know what you're talking about. There's no such thing as overreaction. The stats are the stats. Tyler O'Neill in the Orioles uniform is an over 500 hitter. I don't know what else to say.
Look, man, I mean, said he's going to hit 350. Like, it's how it's going to go.
Without PEDs, Jerkson.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that until I got in the chat today.
No, I saw that as I was driving back. I didn't even know it happened because it happened just a couple hours ago, right? Like,
yeah,
people got scoops on it before like major outlets reported it, so it was kind of like this. Oh, is it actually happening or not? So, yeah, I know that the Orioles are dealing with losing Cowser for 6 to 8. How do you feel about the lineup? Like, Gunner's gonna. So now we've answered the Gunner question of who is off the roster. I mean,
yeah. I actually said in the chat earlier, I think Cowser may have single-handedly saved either Mateo's job or Orioles fans' collective sanity when Kjerstad would have gotten sent down again. Because, Gunner's going to come up and they're just going to send Carlson back down.
I know. Yeah.
But that was – he got a steal today. Shows you why we keep him on the roster. But man, I can't believe, and it breaks your heart that it was on exactly what, like, you don't love to see the head first slides. I think some people miss the fact that I think he's kind of trying to avoid the tag, not just be faster. Like, he's trying not to get tagged by the pitcher there. But I mean, you see it was crazy in the slow-mo. You see how much sliding into first just completely kills your momentum.
Yeah.
But you hate to see someone get injured, and you hate to see someone get injured because they were trying their ass off. Like, he was trying to spark some life in a game that was close. He's just one of those guys that you could be down 20 and he's still going to battle like he's the winning run.
Yeah.
Breaks here. I mean, people were mad at him. I was furious, but same thing with him in the wild card round, breaking his hand, swinging at a pitch that hit him.
Yeah.
Like, he never gets injured because he's not taking his training seriously and he's not warm. He's not like just pulling a hamstring because he didn't stretch enough. He's breaking his hand because he's just hauling his ass off to first. Just breaks your heart.
Yeah, it's tough. And again, like, it was hard to see him do that because you're like, there are dangers of sliding into first like that. He's hustling down the line and you understand why he did it. Like, he wasn't being like malicious and like, oh, I'm just going to do it to do it. Like, hey, let's see if this works. I mean, he was hustling, but again, it's tough. Yeah, just freak incidents for Cowser. Like,
I've never seen a man's body get so beat up by baseball. Like,
in the weirdest ways too.
Weirdest ways.
I don't know. It's wild. Do you think that when Gunner comes back, it'll be Gunner, Adley?
I want to see Gunner.
I guess O'Neill. I mean, you can put a lot of guys in a lot of places.
I want Gunner in the leadoff. I'm putting Gunner, Adley, O'Neill, probably, like a O'Hearn in the 4, and then Westberg no later than 5, just because how he can produce. But man, not having Cowser is going to suck, but at least Gunner's going to be back. And I know some people have been saying they want to see him later in the lineup so that his home runs can come with men on. But, man, he just has a way to change the game when, like, third pitch of the game goes out.
Yeah.
Like, it gets the crowd going. It gets the entire lineup going. He just has – and even when he doesn't hit homers, he's so fast. Like, you'd love him on base.
Yeah.
Like, he's such a good leadoff hitter.
They're gonna miss Kowser for sure, but they have enough talent on the offense. It's just it sucks to me because we're not gonna see this Orioles offense whole for like the
For a
first
long time. We're not going to see this
2-ish.
Orioles team whole for a long time. I mean, you talk about Bradish and Wells.
Right.
Just it will be a very different team by even June, July. You hope different because a move gets made as well. You hope we can bring in an Alcantara or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see how we go. But man, great. Just good game. Good game. I was glad I woke up early, so I was glad they didn't pull some BS on me today.
I know. What time was the wake up for you today?
Wake up was
5, right? 5? Okay.
5:20, pretty much.
Not as bad as 4. Not as bad as 4.
Not as bad as 4. But I will say if I'd woke up back-to-back days for us to suck, I would.
Yeah.
I started watching Severance, and you know how they split when they go into work? I wanted to get like the Severance procedure where I can watch the good Orioles. Half my brain watches the good Orioles game, half watches the bad Orioles games, and just I feel bad for the sucker that has to watch the bad Orioles games. But
yeah,
yep,
they're on pace for what? If they keep going the way they have, they're going to win one, lose one, win one, lose one. They're just going to finish 81 and 81.
Hey, we have a day off tomorrow, and then we have it's a pretty late game on Thursday for me. So if they're going to lose that one, at least I'll be waking up late for it. So
yeah,
makes you feel better. Bullpen, bunch of dogs today.
Bunch of dogs.
You need the starters to give them a bit more length. I know it's beginning of the season. You guys are ramping up.
A lot of pitches, fouls, whatnot.
It's also just he's gonna waste about 2 pitches in at bat. You'd love to see him kind of fix that a little bit,
right?
But it's his first game as far as everyone's concerned. So
again, it's his first game. Not overreacting.
I'm still on this Cave Povich for Cy Young train. I mean, 8 strikeouts in your first game. I mean that's a great way to start.
Hey, I love it. AJ. Anything else before we get you out of here?
The O's are fine. All that, though, obviously very concerning. Clearly, no pop in the lineup. I mean, 1 game without a homer.
Dude, I'm starting to wonder if these guys can even hit homers at this point.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We're like the Mariners. What's going on?
Dude,
Mariners in Baltimore.
Might have to trade Grayson for some hitting at this point. I don't know what that's gonna look like. So, O's are fine. AJ, always appreciate you, man. Tuning in from across the pond, and I love the prop. By the way, very excited for the Australia tour is going to happen up. So
the beer's cold. The O's are cold.
Love it, man. All right. Well,
hope Zach makes it home safe.
Yes, he has texted me that he is on the way. So
God.
He is. I will make sure that he gets home safe. But all right, appreciate you, AJ. Talk soon. All right.
Have a good one, mate.
Awesome. You too, man. Peace out. Well, look at he just pops up when you least expect him. It's Arkansas Joe. Let's get right to him. Next guy on the line. Look at this. Ark/Balt Joe.
Yeah. We got pronouns.
How you doing, Joe?
Got to use those pronouns, make everybody happy.
You're an Arkansas guy through and through.
Yeah, I'm confused about my geography lately, so. Well,
because you were Baltimore, then you were California, right? You went out to LA for a little bit, or just
Sacramento?
Sacramento. Okay, Sacramento. Yeah. And then because I lived in LA for a couple summers doing little internships out there. I never made it to Sacramento though. That was one of the cities I wanted to go to. So
yeah, I was there for 8 years and been here 17 years.
Did you like it?
It was all right. I mean, my parents are still there.
All right. Okay.
That's where I met Shannon and Daniel. So,
all right. Hey, there you go.
Positives came out of it.
Yeah. So, look at that. I couldn't find gas under $5 when I was out there in LA.
When we left, it was close to that. We were living in the mountains. It was probably $4.85, I think, something like that.
Oh,
it was rough. That was 2008. That was August of 2008.
I can't. Yeah. I mean, it's a really cool place, but I don't know if
It got up to, I think my dad said the highest he saw was 825.
825 for a gallon of gas. 825.
Yeah,
That makes me sick just thinking about it. Oh
it got rough. They don't drive very much. They don't drive very much, so it really.
How much is gas in Arkansas? How much is the difference?
Depends. It's somewhere around 266. Some are somewhere between 266 and 280.
That's more like it. That is more like it. But hey, Joe, Heston got a big hit today.
He did. He got a big hit. The puppy liked it. So
oh, look at that. What? How old is your dog?
This little guy is about 9 years old.
Oh, absolutely precious. I love that.
He's getting old. The other one's 12 or 13, and he's on his last trip around the sun, but he's enjoying it.
Yeah, one of my family's dog is gonna be 13 or 14. I can't remember which in October. So he's starting to he's a big barker, but he's starting to lose his voice. So he's a very big protector, and he's passed that on to the younger dog that my parents have. So it's
we have to check IDs with AJ. That kid looks like he's 12, just like you. Shouldn't be drinking.
Well, the age is different over there.
Be demonetized or something if we show underage drinking on the YouTube channel.
I don't know if you saw the comments. I don't know if you saw the
comments
of the height difference between Zach and I. People were questioning if I had the ability to drink.
We've established that you got into a casino, so
yeah. And you know what? Don't anybody forget that happened. By the way, if you want to
at least twice, if not 3 times.
I've been there 3 times now. So
they don't let children in the casino.
Yeah, they don't play about that. But Orioles wise, Joe, what do you got on your mind? How'd you like the game today?
It was a little stressful till about the 8th inning. Kind of wondering what's going on there, but
yeah.
I saw Ryan was in the expensive seats and you guys were in the cheap seats. He does not take care of his employees very well, so we'll note that. And you are HR, so we're gonna put a memo into HR that
he has to come to me. We're gonna have a conversation. That's how that goes. Yeah.
Ryan was doing his guys are in the cheap seats. The pregame guys in the expensive seats. I mean,
Ryan was doing his thing at Pickles, and I couldn't even. I said it earlier on the show. I couldn't even get into Pickles because it was so nuts. Like it was a crazy atmosphere.
You're short, Kevin. You should have just crowd surfed.
I could have gone under the gate. Could have just snuck my way. You should have just
got on everybody's shoulders and let them pass you through to the tent. It
wouldn't have even been a thing. I'm not even. I'm a short guy, so it wouldn't even take that much effort to get me.
Also, Molly's better than Rocco, so there's that.
You know what? I think that's pretty easily established. I think that
we're good with that. Molly over Rocco.
I know. Although she did make it a point that she does have the in-person meeting over you, so you need to get down to Baltimore and even the score.
We'll try to make that happen. A lot of home improvements are happening around here, so that's kind of draining the bank account. But
hey, well, you know what? Whenever you can make it happen, you know we got to make something happen with that. So
for sure, y'all. The StreamYard app doesn't open up on when you put the link out there. At least on my phone, it doesn't.
It's wonky, especially like when I have guests for Locked On Ravens. Even like when they try to join from their phone and like they have the app, like sometimes it just won't open. They have to go through Safari or Chrome or whatever.
Yeah, it's fine. It just I can't see the comments because I'm not.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal because I've had that issue with a couple guests like who I've just had on to interview for Locked On Ravens and.
It usually takes like 45 seconds to a minute for it to populate to say, hey, do you want to use the app? And then I'll just click, you click on it and it's fine, but it doesn't do that for you guys.
Yeah, I don't. It can be weird sometimes
or sign up for free. So maybe it's
something to
work on
the Safari sometimes gets crazy. I don't know how it, what StreamYard is doing, but it works. It's fine. I mean, I think StreamYard is interesting because again, you can't do a lot from your phone. So, like, if I had known that I was going to the bar with Zach, I would have just said, all right, I'm going to set up the stream beforehand, and then just I can hit live, and we could do it from the bar. But unfortunately, it wasn't that. Then it started going crazy with the rain here. Zach was not lying when he said that he couldn't do it outside. So
yeah, I believe it. It was raining.
And then it's supposed to be like, I don't even know what the weather. I don't know. Is Arkansas weather weird, Joe? Where it's like Baltimore weather, where
it's extremely weird. It's tornado season, so it's even weirder. There was tornadoes to the north of us on Sunday, but we didn't see any rain.
Yeah, 82 today. It's gonna be 56 tomorrow, and then 59 on Wednesday, 79 on Thursday. Baltimore just can't make up its mind with the weather, man. It's
don't like the weather. Wait 5 minutes. So
And although, hey, you know what? The 30 minutes actually maybe did a little something for the Orioles today because it started pouring about an hour or so after, or maybe an hour and a half after. So it did something, which I'm excited about.
Got the win. That's all that matters. What's that?
Mm-hmm.
That's 3.
And it wasn't cold. It wasn't cold. That was the big.
That's 3. So we got 105 to go.
I love it. Are you on the Tyler O'Neill for MVP train yet?
Sure. I need one of my clicks to pick to hit so I can at least try to make some money at the end of the season. I'm 0 for 5.
Well, if they can continue this up, your 108's looking pretty good. You got 105 left, like you said. So
I'll take it.
You got what? 100 and if I can do math, 157 to go, right?
I think that's about right. 62 minus 5.
Yeah, we're doing quick math, you and I on Kevin and Zach React. I almost said Locked On Ravens.
That's Baltimore education. I did that quick math.
Man, so I'll tell you, Orioles though. How'd you like Felix?
Felix looked decent. I think he's a little nervous, but got the nerves worked out, and
it's like Sagano, right? It's just got to work through the kinks a little bit, get some of the adrenaline off. That's what I think.
A little bit, but off tomorrow, so we'll see y'all on Wednesday.
Yep. No mulligans yet for Joe, by the way. He is 5 for 5. Even at concerts, Joe makes it happen.
5 for 5. Concerts, Walmart. I gotta run to Home Depot right now.
You're becoming the new Bali on the streets. You're out and about, Joe here.
Well, when we go back to work during the day game, we'll have a Red Bull tour truck. So
Red Bull, let's go. Tour. All right. Hey, we're gonna make it happen. Boom. Yeah. All right, Joe. Anything else before we get you out of here?
Rocco sucks.
Got to end it on a high note, and I love that you did it with that. So awesome, Joe. Appreciate you. We'll get you out of here, and we'll talk soon. All right.
All right, later.
Awesome. All right, Joe. Peace out. Oh, all right. We got a couple more call-ins to get to, and then we will wrap up the show. 2 left. Let's first start off with the one who came in first, and that is across the pond. It is British Raven. Nick, let's bring you on. Nick, how you doing, my friend?
All good. It's nearly 2 a.m., but the vibes are still high.
You know what? You're trucking along, and I think, we got a little late start, obviously, because we went out and Zach had us walk to the bar, by the way, which was like a 20 to 30-minute walk on its own, which was a whole different conversation. And then, obviously, Zach is having a good time, or was having a good time. So
it's horrible for us slightly shorter guys, too, because that 20-minute walk feels like 70 minutes easily. Our legs have to do twice the work.
It's true.
And those long-legged individuals are like, you know what? It's fine. But no, it's not.
And the whole time, Molly was talking about how long Zach's legs were. And I'm like, it's longer strides. Like, it's just that I've never experienced. Like, it's not who I am. BB being 5'7" or 6'6" and 24, 25th. I just round up to 5'7" because I think that's the right thing to do. Right? You don't get those long strides in. So it was tough. But how you feeling about the O's, Nick? How'd you like the game?
I enjoyed it. Small ball. We played well. That first inning was really nice. I enjoyed that.
Fun time.
Steady capped that off really well.
Yeah.
I think he was my player of the game easily. 2 hits, 4 RBIs. You've got to love it.
I think to me, the fact that you were able to get production like that from the bottom of your lineup, and I'm not saying that like said on a bunch of other teams would not be down in that lineup as far as he is. It was a tough start to the year for said last year. I'm glad he's starting it off hot this season because I think that, again, O'Neill's the next factor. I think Mullins is the next factor. A guy that we haven't talked about a lot today, by the way, and I think we probably should, is Jackson Holiday, too, who went 2 for 4. And I think is a guy that, like, look, he's hitting 316 on the year so far. that's a guy that, again, we're expecting these young guys to step up. And while it's not it's impossible for any sports team to expect every young guy to pan out if you have a bunch of guys you're relying on. But it's really nice to see Jackson looking confident at the plate. He's driving the ball well, and it's good that he had the experience he had last season because he's not starting from scratch here. It's good that he had that last season. I think that's really important to me, at least. Plus, you also have Arias, who is very underrated as a hitter, in my opinion. I know that there have been ups and downs with Arias over the course of his Orioles tenure, but he's a guy that I think is this like underrated. I don't want to call him like a big X factor, but I just think he provides a lot of value, especially as a utility guy.
I agree completely. I've always said you don't win a championship based on your big players. You win it based on those who do the most down the line. It's always the case. Yeah. With Jackson Holiday, he had that baptism of fire, and you fight fire with fire, and he's doing that now.
Yeah. The fact that the Orioles have so many guys that can mash in their lineup, and then we see a game like today where it's like the power isn't going anywhere. And I know we joke about, can this Orioles no home runs? Is this Orioles team even good at hitting the long ball? Like, you can joke about it, but it's not. That power's not going anywhere. But when you're able to do this, because that's what we did not see last season. That's why, we'll come on here after 4-2 losses, after the Orioles hit 2 solo homers and left 10 guys on base and with runners in scoring position.
Yeah.
And we're just like, can they just get a guy in? Can they just get a guy on first and drive him in with no outs? Yeah. Or they would load the bases with no outs and they'd come away with nothing, or a sac fly. Like, those are missed opportunities. And actually, I don't have the exact numbers. Let me pull them up quickly of what the Orioles hit with runners in scoring position today. Look at this. We're gonna do some quick research, you and I, over here on Kevin and Zach React. They hit quickly. How do you even find it on ESPN? If someone has the stats in the chat, you can put it in and beat me to it. Or Nick, if you find it. This is a pretty tough scene for me, I'm not going to lie. Here we go. Runners in scoring position. 6 for 15 with runners in scoring position. So
just under half?
Yeah, a little under half. But again, it's like, who did it? It was O'Neill with 1 for 1. Holiday 1 for 1. Steady 2 for 2, which was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Heston went 1 for 3. Obviously, he had a couple of looking strikeouts early. And then Mountie 1 for 2. I just think, again, and you have productive guys at the top of your lineup. Like, I know Westy only went 1 for 4 today, and he had a walk. He got on base 2 times. But, like, that's what you need. I mean, everybody in the lineup had a hit but Laureano today.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Mateo pinch ran, so that doesn't count. And Carlson was a pinch hitter, so I'm not counting that either.
Yeah.
But he got on base. He walked. So at the same time, it's like you have options 1 through 9. The offense is going to be the thing that carries your team this year. So that, to me, is the big thing, especially with a guy like Ceddy and Jackson and all those guys at the bottom of the lineup.
And you may need to pick most of Birdland up off the floor if we see any more of Tyler O'Neill's biceps. I'm a perfectly straight individual, but I would let that man do things to me.
He could be the saving X factor for this Orioles team. And you know what, Nick? I think that a lot of people are also enjoying the Tyler O'Neill experience. Maybe not as much as you, apparently, but I think that a lot of people...
I'm very comfortable with who I am as a person.
Hey, you know what? I love it. I love it. You know what? Baltimore loves Tyler O'Neill. So it all...
A little too much, some would say.
I think that he is someone... You get the what did he wear? He wore the shirt today. Baseball's not boring. Like he's embracing it all, man. I love it. And plus,
good for him.
Probably felt good to do it against his old team too, right? I think that revenge factor certainly maybe played a role there. So I think it always does for these guys.
I agree.
Yeah, it's awesome. Anything else you got before I head you out here or get you out of here, Nick?
I want to say also that it was great to get the Mountain Man back out there today.
Yeah.
Even though he was a bit off, you got to let him go. Today was a perfect opportunity. So
yeah, and again, I mean, the Orioles, yes, it got dicey at the end, but with the off day tomorrow, it makes sense, right? You get them some work, you get them some rest. you get the jitters out now, right? You're in a 4-run game. You think that's good enough. And it was to win the game. Obviously, it got a little more stressful than I thought it was going to be. But just to hear the crowd pop, see the love and appreciation that Birdland has, and we know that they have that appreciation. It was just a really cool moment to be in the stadium for, just to witness in general.
I agree.
So I love it. I love it. All right, Nick. Well, I'll get you out of here. Appreciate you as always, man. Joe's 5 for 5. You're 5 for 5 too. I'm not forgetting about you either. AJ, I know you're 5 for 5 too. We got the perfect club, and Nick, you're a part of that. Always appreciate
Absolutely.
You,
before I go, BJ Surhoff.
I'm gonna give mine at the end of the show, but
I'm joining in.
Early submission. All right, Nick. Appreciate you. We'll talk soon.
I appreciate you guys. Right. Take it easy.
Yeah, you too. All right. Boom, boom, boom. We got one more left. We'll get to the call in here. It is Samuel checking in. Sam, this is my favorite thing ever, and I'm sad that Zach is here. I think actually he is walking somewhere because I have to bring him on. Zach, are you here?
No, you have to.
You
must.
This is my favorite redemption story ever.
Oh man, dude! Like I was thinking that exact same thing.
Samuel, this is everything we've wanted. What are we doing? Not having me in,
bro. Dude, like honestly, when you guys started doing the call-ins, I'm like, I have to do this because Zach, you absolutely. I don't think it's fair to say that you hated my guts. I think it was like June or July of last year when I was like the freak out of the group, and you all were on the Ryan Ripken show doing the reactions. Yeah. And I think one time, dude, you just had you had enough, and you just went off on me. This is like in June before they even collapsed or had their mid-season fall, and then 2 months later, I'm sitting there, I'm saying, "Oh, okay, well, who was right?" I'm just kidding. I take no credit in that.
Sam, I have no issue saying you were right. All right, I want that on record. I was wrong. You were right. Okay, that is on record. I appreciate you calling in because I was hoping you would be one of the call-ins. So.
Yes, absolutely, man.
Hey, we love being positive. We love talking about the Orioles. We're fine, but you know what? Obviously, it's not all sunshine and rainbows all the time, and you gotta take the bad with the good with the bad. And so, Sam, we appreciate.
Sam saw it before I did. I'll give it to him. Sam saw it before I did.
Hey.
So.
Well, then we have to. If Sam knows, if you're the future guy here, what is happening for the Orioles this year? Call your shot. What's happening this year?
Oh man! If only I had a crystal ball. Okay. Here's my concern. The concern that I have, and it's only five games in. I mean, wouldn't be baseball without overreactions, right? But the concern that I see is just the inability to get into the fifth inning. Except for I think Eflin got through 6, and Kramer, it was bumpy, but he got through 5. I think he gave up 5 on Saturday or Friday, whatever day that was. He gave up 5 runs, I think.
Yes.
4 or 5. Yeah, but the offense had his back, and typically they supply him some runs. I think he's typically got some good run support. Povich, it's his first start on the opening day roster. I wasn't expecting too much. I liked what he had 8 strikeouts, I think, 8 punch outs, couple walks, none too bad. So he looked good. He looked pretty solid. But it's just the not getting into the 5th or 6th inning and I heard Ben, Kevin, and Jim talking about this. It's going to hurt your bullpen. And that's the only concern, at least right now, that I have is just got to get them starters into at least the 5th inning. I would say definitely want to shoot for 6, but yeah.
And I hear that because it was something we talked about last season where, guys were only going you were getting shelled, going 2 1/3, and you got to use your bullpen. And in those games, for example, game 2 where Suarez comes in a game that's okay, you kind of probably don't have this one and he doesn't do well either. You can have a long guy. But now that Suarez is on the shelf, obviously Kittredge isn't coming back for a little while now. Felix is still on a appearance count or pitch count or whatever you want to say there. I think early in the season, it's really important to be able to get your guys through at least 5 innings. And it's going to come back to bite you in some way, shape, or form if you're not able to do that consistently because it taxes everybody. And especially when guys are going on the shelf and, you have Bowman come in or you go back-to-back days with a Dominguez or a Soto or whoever it is. This is a long season, right? Again, we're only 5 games in. But, you hit game 90, 100, 110. And, if your starters can't get through 5 consistently, these guys' arms are going to start to fall off. And so, like, I hear you with that. So does that mean they have to trade for a bullpen arm? Like, do they have to try to go out there and get somebody? Or, again, Game 2, Zach and I were already talking about trades. That was probably one of my favorite moments of the.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's just how it goes.
It is so necessary.
It is, you want one loss and you got to trade everybody. That's just,
Oh, absolutely.
No overreactions though, right? It's just
everyone sucks. It's like, gosh, someone even said it. Caleb was like, after a win, we're winning it all. After a loss, we're trash. Trade everybody.
Here it is, Caleb.
There it is. Yep.
Trading everyone.
It's awesome.
It's the ups and the downs of baseball. But I also like the fact that I think you have reliable like Soto beginning of Orioles tenure versus now is so night and day. Obviously, as we talked about, Dominguez will struggle sometimes with homers, but
he was shoving it today.
More often than not, particularly today, like you said, I mean, he was awesome.
Yeah.
You have arms there. Once Felix gets back into it, once the jitters kind of shake off for him, I'm giving him a lot of grace right now, right? Because he's still getting back in the groove of things. He's still working his way back. Cano was awesome. I mean, you have opportunities, and he's been a consistent piece for you for a long, long time. Your arms are there. You just don't want to burn them out.
No, of course not.
Once you get to October, that's the big thing. Offensively, though, are you good with the offense so far? Is that...
Look, I'm liking it. It seems that we're kind of on this trend off and on. Sunday they were off, and today they came out with 8 runs. And so I'm like, okay, it's continuing that trend. But I did I think you said 6 for 15 with the runners in scoring position. I like that. I liked no home runs. It's funny. My dad lives in Maryland, and so he was texting me. He's like, man, did we hit any home runs today? I'm like, no, I don't think so. Yeah, that's a first. But one thing I am liking though, and obviously, I think everyone talked about it. It sucks to see Kowser go. It definitely does, because I mean, he was runner-up rookie of the year, so that sucks.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, I am very curious to see what Kjerstad can do. I think he's going to get a lot of playing time over the next, 6 to 8 weeks, I think is what Hyder said. So it could be tough, but I think Kjerstad's going to get some good playing time. I think he'll get some good at bats, and who knows? Maybe they trade him, maybe they keep him. Who knows? Then maybe the value goes up. That's what you can hope for. So who knows?
Yeah, and I think this is where we kind of find out what Heston's future with the team is. I mean, you're not gonna get Heston with Kowser and all these guys in the lineup. There was always going to be like, okay, where does he slot in? Is he gonna get time at DH? Is he gonna get time in the outfield? Where does he find those at bats for the next 6 to 8 weeks? If you play him in a decently regular everyday role, if that's what it comes down to, you can figure out like, hey, does he have trade value? Is this a guy you want on your roster long term? Because I don't think you can just continue to play the game if we're going to send him back down because he has options. He's too old for that. You have to make a decision there, right? At least that's what I think.
Because he's 26, I think. 25, 26. He's old.
Yeah.
Like I mean, he's not old, but I mean, like the fact that he's never played more than 50 games in a season, and he's 26. That's crazy. So at this point, you might as well just. I mean, I kept thinking, off season, get an arm, trade the dude. I would have hated to see it because I love Kjerstad, but got to get some value, especially with the fact that they really didn't add, the arms that we wanted to. I was hoping for. There was no shot they were bringing Burns back. Once we found out the reason, I was like, yeah, they could have threw $300 million at him. He still wasn't going to go. It wasn't about the money at that point. And then Fried, I mean, not worth $218 million at 30 years old or 31 years old. Not a good move by the Yankees. It might be, who knows? But I'm not even sure if there were much in the trade market anyway. Like Dylan Cease was kind of thrown out there, but then GM was like, "No, we're not going to trade. We're not going to shop him. We're going to keep him." And I'm like, okay, guess there's nobody out there. But who knows? Sandy Alcantara. I'm like, we need that dude.
Yeah, I would do things to get Sandy Alcantara on the Baltimore Orioles. I'd tell you so. Well, this was a beautiful,
absolutely redemption.
Redemption story here for Sam. Zach, do you have anything?
Let's hear it.
No, I honestly I agree with Sam. It's one of those things where the starting rotation at the minute is such a up in the air thing where you have to sit there and tell yourself, okay, you feel like you have 1 through 5 in principle figured out, but Grayson goes down. Now all of a sudden, a Sagano goes out. It is a factor of who do you put in, And I've said it from the mountaintops, Kevin, from the start, that the Orioles are built for regular season. We are finding out way sooner than we thought whether or not the Orioles are built for the regular season. It's not a guy goes down in July, how do you replenish? It is now suddenly okay, two guys are potentially hurt in April, early April. How do you respond from that? So we're going to see over the next 2 to 3 weeks how this Baltimore Orioles team responds. You don't have Grayson. You don't have I hope you have a Sagano, but you don't know what exactly you have. And it's one of those points where, okay, if we can get consistent offense, I'm not going to worry. But Kevin, like you've said, it's been one game, it's the best offense in the league. The next game, you're begging for an inning. So it does suck to be in this position where you don't feel like you know what the offense is going to give you in the slightest. But Sam, I know I'll pick the optimistic end, and I'll say these guys we'll see what happens. We'll see how they adjust to a Sagano.
Yeah.
And all those in the, as the guys. But if I were to sit here and tell you I was confident in the Orioles rotation at the moment, it'd be a lie. You have to have guys that find success. That's all the Orioles need. You have the guys that can score the runs, have somebody who can find success innings 1 through 7.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good. Straight up.
I agree for sure. All right, Sam, anything else you got before we get you out of here?
I am half hoping, half not, because I want to be empathetic towards Rafi Devers, but I am sort of holding out a hope that he breaks Chris Davis's 0 for 54 streak. That's the only thing I can think of today, and he's 0 for 19, so he's more than I can't do math. He's not even halfway there yet. He's almost halfway there. My goodness.
Almost.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I'll count almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. I love it. Well, all right, Sam. Appreciate you calling, and hopefully we see you more around the call-ins, especially
for sure, man.
You and Zach can chop it up on your
That's my favorite
story.
call-in. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know. Chop it up on the redemption story,
Sam
right?
ever disagreed, Kevin? Have me and Sam ever disagreed?
Never.
Awesome.
Not once. All right. Well, awesome,
All
Sam.
right.
Appreciate
good to see you guys.
We'll talk soon.
Yeah,
awesome.
Absolutely.
All right. Peace out. Boom. And now there were two. Zach, are you here? Are you not?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. How you doing? How you feeling?
Oh, I'm doing well, Kevin. How are you doing?
Good. I'm glad to hear. You getting home safely?
We are getting home, yes. We're getting
Very good. Glad to hear it. Well, fun Orioles day, fun Orioles win, fun celebrations. And then there's no stream tomorrow. There's no game tomorrow. So
Kevin's sad.
I know. But you know what? We still have 157 games to go. We got a lot more reactions, a lot more fun, and I'm excited for it, man. So you got anything else before we pop out of here? Anything you got?
Kevin, I'm like you said, there's so much Orioles content to be had.
I'm so pumped up.
It's the Orioles season. I know it's not the greatest thing in the world to everyone who wants to take it a game by game. I know, and honestly, I know people don't want to take it game by game. The Orioles are fine, as much as people hate to say it. The Orioles are fine. And you know what? If the Orioles find themselves at 500 at the end of July, then we're going to have a discussion, Kevin. But until then, do what you have to do. Win the games you're supposed to win. I'm not going to argue or complain about a team not being 500, that sort of stuff. It's win the games you're supposed to win. And I'll move it up. Kevin, in June, we can start talking about this Orioles placing. And, okay, are they in the division? Okay, where are they in with this wild card race? And anything about that. Until then, win the games you can. You know, today was a winnable game. I'll argue yesterday and the day before or the loss prior were winnable games. Win the games you can. That's all we can ask as fans. Go out there and win the games you can. So that'll be my last, comment, Kevin. Go out there every single game. Do not give up on the Birds. I don't care if they're down 3-0 in the 5th. Have some faith. Have some confidence in the boys at the plate. These are very talented guys. Let them do their work.
You know what? I love it because this offense 1 through 9 can mash. The pitching staff, they just need to keep the offense in it, and the offense will be able to manufacture runs. Obviously, hopefully, we see a combination of power and the 15 hits, no home runs that we saw today. If you do that,
like literally find a middle. Kevin, if you find a middle, this team is unbeatable. If you can find a middle of instead of we're getting the RBI single, the 3-run shot, this team's unbeatable. But like you said, Kevin, find the middle. Don't go all out on the home run. Don't go all out on we're going to drive the single to get a singular guy in. Find that middle part, and this team's going to do very well.
I'll tell you, they have a lot of potential. It's just a matter of being able. You're right. The middle is exactly what this team needs. Exactly what this team needs. So, Orioles win. Again, we're on this win-loss thing. Hopefully, after Tuesday's off day, they can get back in the win column, get a little win streak going. Maybe a sweep for the first time in 15 years. We can talk about a sweep, which would be nice.
That'd be fun, Kevin. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'll tell you. So, all right, I think that's all we have on Kevin and Zach React. We're gonna head out. We'll obviously take the day off of here tomorrow. We'll be on the Ryan Ripken show though. So the Ryan Ripken Media Empire never sleeps. So this is Kevin and Zach React. We are your daily post-game Orioles destination where you can tune in, react with us, be happy about wins, be sad about losses. We are here for you. So I think that's all we got. Zach, you wanna do the honors and give your player?
Ooh, this is Eric Dickerson.
Jay Gibbons. We'll see you next time on Kevin and Zach React. Boom.